daily time-lapse movies is this idea of narrative and telling a different style of story than is possible in a TV broadcast or a Malcolm Gladwell article or whatever. Things just don't wrap up that cleanly, and by having stories like that, it kind of inherently has to do with this lottery mindset, winner take all. So I did a proposal today for this digital media learning grant cycle. The idea of a time-lapse classroom. And so what does a time-lapse classroom get you? A time-lapse classroom gets you this idea of a slow story of progress. You can imagine telling a narrative about a classroom and trying to include 30 students or 20 students in that narrative. It just would not be possible. It's not the way our normal linear storytelling works. So instead, you're talking about this idea of taking a 1-minute time-lapse movie every day, and that's the result. There's no real, I don't know what I was saying, grading per se. There's something about the fact that you're just allowing the students to see themselves, and you're rewarding slow motion, you're rewarding things that take time. You're incentivizing long-term thinking. Time-lapse movie is good. It's good for flowers growing. It's good for life. It's good for things that are slow. Vandalism, although technically it does show up. It's not one thing that shows up more as a growth. In the growth, if you imagine a flower time-lapse movie, at some point you're cutting the flower down, vandalizing the flower. Of course, it does show up. The flower's gone. You plant the seed, but it's the growth that's the interesting part of the movie. So if the movie is the reward, you're not really rewarded for cutting the flower down, but you're rewarded for making the flower grow. So you imagine a movie of drawing pictures and building themselves, bridges and exploring machines and moving around in a space and sharing it with other people. I think this is something very powerful, although it's also a mirror for process, antithetical to what we know classrooms want to tell people digital computerized learning to be. So we want to just show them. I don't necessarily expect to get the grant, but I very much enjoyed quickly writing a 300-word description of it. That is all.